Good afternoon. In our Episcopal Church 101 session today for June 9th, I have titled this reflection, Where is Irenaeus when we need him? Now, you're not to be faulted for not knowing who Irenaeus is, but you'll soon learn. In the south of modern-day France, in the Roman city of Lugdunum, which is now Lyon, thankfully easier to pronounce, around the middle of the 2nd century, a bishop was stoned to death by the people of the city who were following the Gnostic teachings. Gnosticism is not Christian belief. The Pope summoned Irenaeus, who was serving as a priest there, and appointed him to be the second bishop of the region. Rather than set up shop as a bishop with all the usual pomp and circumstance, even in the 2nd century, Irenaeus considered his work to be more missionary in nature, since most of the people in his diocese were not Christian. He spent several years befriending and meeting with people and their religious Gnostic leaders. He was doing field research so that he developed a thorough understanding of the Gnostic belief. Then he began to write treatises refuting Gnosticism and showing that the Christian faith as taught by the church was the true faith. He eventually won over the city and the whole region of Gaul. Modern-day France today is Roman Catholic, largely because of the efforts of Irenaeus. Why is this story important to us today, at least for those of us who don't live in France? One of the practices of Gnosticism was the selling of spirituality in God's favor. This was condemned in the book of Acts in the story of Simon Magus. Today, we refer to the crass selling of indulgences or tickets to heaven as the sin of simony. It is also the standard message of many evangelical churches. While on sabbatical in 2017, we visited 5 large evangelical churches. And in 100% of our admittedly small sample of visits, the very long message from the pulpit each time that thousands of people flocked to hear was the same. I'll summarize it for you. Give your money to the church and God will forgive you. And by implication, you'll get to go to heaven. Sometimes the message was preceded by a nod to John Calvin, where people were made to feel guilty for being evil, wicked, and sinful from your birth. This dreadfully heretical message is deadly effective in building up huge followers, giving enormous amounts of money, power, and prestige to the practitioners of this black art known as tele-evangelist. The preachers on television live in enormous mansions and fly on private jets, all paid for by their followers. This has been going on since the late 1800s, so that now fundamentalism in this variant of evangelical Christianity now outpaces the Roman Catholic Church and all other forms of mainline Protestant religions lumped together. If this trend is allowed to continue, the Roman Catholic Church and mainline Protestantism will be reduced to irrelevance, while the followers of Simon Magus that the Church condemned for 2,000 years will ride blissfully off into the sunset. I am not sure that Jesus died in agony on the cross so that a few silver-tongued preachers could lead thousands into heresy while they live in mansions. What should be done about it? This is where the teaching office of the bishop is vitally important. Rather than dealing with the latest social theological fads, our bishops would do well to follow the lead of Irenaeus and forcefully condemn these teachings so that these teachings are such that no Christian prior to 1800 would even recognize them as Christian. Instead of sound research, scholarship, and vigorous condemnation, our church leaders have preferred to, quote, play nice and allow the heretical distortions of Christian belief to overwhelm all other versions. This is not an easy road for bishops or scholars today. Irenaeus' predecessor, after all, was stoned to death. But again, I ask, where is Irenaeus when we need him or her?